I hear you. On the subject of Gaza, we all want this war to end as soon as possible.
Kامala is also in total freefall with the Arab and Muslim population.
الرئيس السابق دونالد ترامب تواصل مع الجالية العربية والمسلمة لمرة واحدة أو مرتين، وأعطاهم من الوعود ما لا يستطيع تحقيقه في الواقع، ولكن أسمعهم ما يريد أن يسمعوه. جزء منهم اقتنع بذلك وانتهى الموضوع. أما على الجانب الآخر فاستمرت رسائل الديمقراطيين أكثر قدرة وحدة واستمرارية، خصوصا في الأمتار الأخيرة.
I think it's interesting that the Harris campaign has not highlighted some of the Trump campaign or Trump administration's past performance, particularly during its max pressure campaign against Iran, and also moving the U.S. embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. So some of this past performance, I think, that the Harris campaign hasn't highlighted. And of course, you see in the news as well of Trump trying to court some Muslim voters in Michigan. I think would still try to do that. But I also find it interesting at this time of the campaign that all these voters would still be undecided. There hasn't been some type of decision. And of course, as well, the last thing I'll say is that sometimes voters might see, particularly Arab and Muslim voters, might see that they're trying to pick the best of the worst.
I think and I believe that the Arab Americans have come out in support of President Trump in Michigan, specifically because of his policies, his successful policies that empower the American people to include the Arab Americans, to include all Americans.
I think Kamala Harris is working hard to try to win those voters back. But you see people like Barack Obama and Bernie Sanders going out to try to win that community for her, convince that community, because they may get a friendlier reception with that community than Kamala Harris might at this point. They're not likely to face the kinds of really tough questions from that group that she might, as somebody who's actively in the administration right now. For Donald Trump, I think he's just trying to chip away. If he can chip away 0.5%, 1%, 1,000 votes here, 1,000 votes there, especially in Michigan, that is the kind of margin that could be the difference in a state that's going to be won really, really close.